This Riverside County deputy found himself in a rather tricky situation. He pulled over a Sienna, but what followed was not expected.
Hey man, hey, where you going? Where you going? Stop really quick. Come here. Put the car in park.
The officer walked up to the car and found that the driver was bleeding from his left arm, and the blood was all over the chair. He helped the man out, who kept saying it's okay.
Come on, let me help you. Where are you bleeding from? Your arm? Okay, come here. Let me put a tourniquet on you, okay?
Showing compassion, the officer helped wrap up the man's wounded arm and helped him into the car. Suddenly, the man reached for an object. The officer, following his training, ran for cover.
A ver un poquito, okay? Pero tengo que poner.
No, it's okay, it's okay.
No, stop.
No, it's okay.
Pretty much.
No, it's okay.
When he approached the vehicle again, the driver came charging at him with a knife. The cop had no other choice but to gun him to the ground.
It's gonna be between Beach and 53rd and Beach. ¿Qué pasó, señor?
Police officers fatally shot a man, but if they hadn't done that, they would have been on the receiving end.
Put the knife down! Knife down! Put the knife down! Put the knife down!
The video shows a man in a yellow shirt wielding a knife and moving uneasily. One of the cops can be heard telling him to drop the knife and get on the ground. The man, however, charges at the officer and gets shot 5 times.
Put it down! Put it down! Put the knife down, sir! Oh, please! No, 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 no! Put it up! Shots fired, Central, shots fired!
Surprisingly, he gets up again and takes an officer hostage, holding the knife to his neck. The police officer with the body cam wouldn't let his partner get killed, so he fires 3 more times at the suspect.
Oh, no, no! Sir!
Sometimes police officers deserve to be saluted. On a Sunday at 11:25 a.m., a fire broke out in a house on the 2nd floor of Sydney Street, endangering a woman and a child.
Kids are jumping out the window here. Let him go, let him go. Let him go. Who else is up there?
Amid the raging flames, the child was seen attempting to escape over the 2nd floor ledge. As the situation grew more dire, those waiting below successfully carried the child to safety.
Are you the last one? Are you the last one?
One woman in the house acted recklessly in a moment of desperation. She jumped to safety from the 2nd floor overhang. When Buffalo police arrived on the scene, they caught her, allowing firefighters to concentrate on extinguishing the blaze. In another video, police body camera footage from Utah has captured a gripping moment of heroism. Just hours after a tragic car crash, a rescue team's quick and courageous actions saved a baby's life.
Someone was trapped inside.
What have you got? What have you got?
3 police officers, 2 firefighters, and the fishermen all jump into action, trying to flip the car over.
A group of heroes, including 3 police officers, 2 firefighters, and an angler, ventured into the river, braving the strong current to search for survivors. Inside the overturned car, they found a baby in desperate need of rescue. Acting swiftly in dangerous conditions, the team focused on getting the baby to safety while an ambulance was called. As the baby was carefully removed from the submerged vehicle, the officers ensured its safe transport to the ambulance.
There's a bear, Brian. Brian, get up here, though.
Once inside, the officers wasted no time, immediately performing life-saving procedures. The baby was then rushed to the hospital, where its life was fortunately saved.
They begin giving Lily infant CPR and trying to warm her up as the ambulance rushes to the hospital. No one can feel a pulse.
We're almost there.
A previously unseen moment reveals the tense and shocking arrest of a 10-year-old boy for causing a tragic event.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Deputy Stryker and Captain Ranker arrived at the home of Joey McVeigh, a 10-year-old boy accused of committing an unthinkable act of violence against his family.
I'm Deputy Stryker.
Yeah.
This is Captain Ranker, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. What's your name?
Joey McVeigh.
Joey McVeigh. Okay.
During questioning, Joey admitted to the police officer that he had shot his mother, leaving the officer stunned. When asked what drove him to such an act, Joey revealed that it was his mother's treatment of him that had fueled his anger.
Okay. What happened? What transpired to get up to that point?
Her every day just making me so mad.
Shocked by the confession, Deputy Stryker asked where Joey had obtained the gun. The boy calmly replied that he had taken a .22 caliber firearm from his room. With this admission, the officer arrested him, charging Joey with murder and misuse of a firearm.
What kind of gun did you have?
22.
A 22? Rifle, handgun, or what?
Nothing.
Okay.
I know my dad.
Laying back on your bed?
Yeah.
Police officers don't always use their guns. Sometimes they use all they have to save lives. A tense and emotional scene unfolded as a man was electrocuted in his private swimming pool, prompting police officers to take swift and dramatic action to save his life.
Responsive in his backyard pool. This entire event was captured on 2 of the responding officers' body cameras, and a heads up, this one is tough to watch.
The officers were working nearby when they noticed the man unconscious in his pool. The atmosphere around the pool quickly turned to fear and panic as it became clear that the man had suffered a severe electric shock, putting his life in grave danger. The officers immediately sprang into action.
Go! A second officer races to get an automatic defibrillator to help restart the victim's heart.
They quickly pulled the man from the water and began performing CPR with precision.
Even though EMS is on scene, they want the officers to continue with CPR while they set up their...
Fortunately, their efforts paid off, and the man began to show signs of breathing. He was immediately transported to a nearby hospital, where he was fortunate to survive the incident.
Samaritans, the man would not have survived. The officers were later awarded life-saving medals by their department, and those Good Samaritans are true everyday heroes. Great.
This footage was released from the Kern County Sheriff's Office. It shows a deputy fatally shooting a suspect after he threatened to kill an elderly man. On February 9th, deputies were called to the area of Pierce and State Roads in Oildale on a report of a man breaking car windows and committing assault with a deadly weapon. That weapon in question was a hunting knife.
Don't get yourself in any more trouble, bro. Just stop and drop the knife and drop the fire extinguisher.
Around 1:21 p.m., deputies located the suspect walking northbound on Pierce Road, telling him to stop and drop the knife and the fire extinguisher. But he did not obey commands from the deputies.
Subject's,
He fled to a nearby guard shack at a business in the area and took a man hostage at knife point. From all indications, he was serious about ending the man if the police didn't let him be.
Hey, somebody in there?
Get away! You better put that down.
It was at that point that Deputy Austin Burgess fired twice into the shack, killing the suspect who was pronounced dead at the scene.
Go. Go, go. Go.
This footage was captured by a body camera worn by a Baltimore County police officer. Officers responded to a report of an imminent robbery at the Parkville CVS. As the officers approached the CVS on East Jer Road, they were aware that an armed suspect was inside, intimidating a witness. Without hesitation, they ordered the suspect to drop his weapon and surrender.
28, give me the channel, 10-3, I'm out.
The suspect on his knees proved stubborn, refusing to get on the ground. As tensions escalated, an officer said that 2 other suspects had jumped out of a window with stolen prescription drugs. Officers pursued them and arrested the pair near the town line.
Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Don't you move! Do you understand? Get on the ground! Get on the ground!
During the search of the suspects, officers discovered weapons in their pockets, along with cash and drugs in their vehicle. Both suspects were held without bail, facing multiple serious charges, including armed robbery, burglary, and theft.
Come on up, come on up. What's the description?
Black with masks and hoodies, and you can't tell nothing from them.
On August 16, 2020, police bodycam footage from Seattle captured a disturbing scene where protesters hurled explosive fireworks at police officers.
Watch out! Watch out! Behind you!
As the footage begins, the demonstrators are seen choosing a dangerously aggressive course of action, recklessly throwing firecrackers that result in powerful explosions, shaking the atmosphere. As tensions escalated, the police faced a barrage of explosive firecrackers from the protesters. The intensity of the explosions prompted the officers to respond more cautiously, setting up barricades to manage the crowd. Despite the continued attacks, the police maintained their composure, carrying out their duties without resorting to violence. Fortunately, no casualties were reported during the incident.
Get some blast balls up here! Oh, shit!
A tense moment was captured on bodycam footage as police officers in Cambridge, UK, pursued a man armed with a knife. The footage, recorded on June 30th, 2023, shows a dramatic chase through the streets of Cambridge. 2 neighborhood support officers were in hot pursuit of a man suspected of drug offenses and carrying a dangerous bladed weapon, heightening the tension.
Got a runner. He's got a knife. Church Street's got a knife.
The officers, acting with caution, fired warning shots, leading to the man's eventual arrest. He was released on bail under the condition that he not enter Cambridge.
On the floor! Now! I'm coming back! Right, you're detained for 23 search.
A woman from Sand Springs was arrested during a drug bust after attempting to flee from police.
I can't go to jail. Please don't take me.
Give me your hand.
Welcome to Raw Police Body Cam. On November 30th, 2018, about 6:45 p.m.
Body cameras captured officers patrolling near 5th and Main on a Friday afternoon when they spotted the woman running down the street. She reportedly tried to hide behind a small tree to evade the police, but when the officers approached, the situation quickly escalated.
2-foot pursuit! Stop, police! Stop! Come here!
I can't go to jail. Please don't take me.
The officer tackled her to the ground, and during the arrest, the woman resisted, expressing fear of losing her job and facing fines.
I can't go to jail, man. I'm gonna lose my job. I can't pay off. I lose my
292, I'm secure with a female.
I lose my job. I can't pay off.
She was identified as 21-year-old Alexis McIntosh. Officers discovered that she had 5 outstanding warrants and found cannabis in her bag.
All right, can you get out? My radio's not working.
Because I rescheduled with y'all, and then when I called back, I had 5 warrants issued for me. And I had to go to work.
A police body camera captured the moment when a female police officer found herself in a life-threatening situation.
Oh my God, that's him. Oh my God, that's him. Right here on this one? Yep, in this Prius.
The officer pointed out to her colleague that the suspect was in a white car. As she demanded the suspect get out of the car, what greeted her were bullets fired by the suspect. She ended up with very serious injuries.
Hey, come on. He's right here. Come out of the car. Oh my God.
This officer spotted a wanted suspect stopped at the auto parts store. He parked behind the truck and walked up to the driver's side door. He wanted to stop the driver from evading capture.
How you doing, Mike? Doing good.
But it was too late. The vehicle lunged forward over a concrete parking stop. The driver immediately accelerated forward at a high rate of speed, jumping over the curb onto the sidewalk area. He crashed through the front window of the store, continuing to travel at a high rate of speed through the interior merchandise area of the building.
I got a complaint about your driving coming from over toward Grand Valley. You got your vehicle in top. Oh!
A suspected carjacker ran straight into law enforcement, ultimately leading to his arrest. Around 3:30 p.m., a Mays police officer spotted the car and attempted to stop it at a gas station near 21st Street North and Mays Road. The officer blocked the suspect's way out of the station. That is when the suspect floored the stolen SUV in reverse, crashing into a Jeep, then flooring the car in drive, hitting a display of windshield washer fluid and the police car. Officers arrested the suspect and continue to investigate further charges. The Jeep was drivable, while the damages to the stolen car and police car appeared to be more severe. No one was hurt from any of the day's incidents. On Bird Island, Buffalo police officers undertook a heroic rescue mission to save a woman. Body cameras captured the officers arriving at the scene, preparing their equipment and instructing the woman. They used a rope and body harness to pull her to safety. Their brave efforts were successful, as they managed to bring the woman out of danger and ensure her safety.
It's okay. Do you want to drown or no? Okay, it's fine.
You would see different things in a prison, including officers getting attached. Such was the case on October 17, 2016, in a Racine County correctional facility. Initially, the situation appears calm, with the prisoner walking peacefully and even smiling brightly. When he noticed the prison officers were off guard, he turned suddenly hitting one of the wardens with a heavy fist, landing him on the floor. The other officer acted fairly quickly as he jumped on him, bringing him down to the ground and battling with the prisoner to be able to escape. Other officers rushed out to help. In the Manhattan subway, New York City police officers and a bystander performed a heroic rescue to save a man in peril. Body camera footage captured the officers arriving at the subway station to find a man who had fallen onto the tracks as a train was approaching. Without hesitation, the officers and bystanders sprang into action. The video shows one officer descending onto the tracks, grabbing the fallen man, and struggling to lift him out of the train's path. Thanks to their brave efforts, they successfully rescued the man just moments before the train arrived. On April 29, 2022, in Columbia, Florida, officers stopped a woman for not wearing a seatbelt, but the situation quickly escalated.
Related, okay? So, first question I always ask is there anything illegal in the vehicle? Hold on. Don't be reaching for anything, okay?
The K-9 officer inquired about illegal narcotics in the vehicle. Although the driver initially denied having any drugs, she later admitted to possessing methamphetamine, raising the officer's suspicions.
If I walk the dog, he alerts, and I have to search your vehicle and I find it, you're going to go to jail. That's just the way it is. So, this is your time to be honest with me, okay?
I'm going to go to jail anyway.
When asked about her belongings, the woman claimed they were in her shirt. However, a search by a female officer revealed a large quantity of drugs hidden in her bra. The woman was arrested and detained for further investigation.
Yeah. That's why I gave them to you. You just being detained at this point.
Recognizing the suspect from the earlier incident, an officer gave verbal commands to him, letting him know he would be arrested.
All right, Mr. Adams. They want you to be issued a trespass warning, so that means you gotta pay for it, bro. I got you. They already refunded you. I made sure they did that.
How they refund me?
To your card. So here
my
you go.
card, how they refund me?
Here you go.
Following training, the officer attempted to gain voluntary compliance, using both his baton and taser as the suspect violently resisted. The suspect escalated his attack on the officer, who subsequently reached for his firearm. As the two struggled, the officer's firearm discharged, and the officer was struck in the hand. The suspect left with the officer's firearm.
Who are you on the phone with?
911!
Who are you on the phone with?
Right, grab me, bro.
Hey, man.
Come on over here. Go ahead, follow me. Follow me, man. She's following me. Come on. Keep going with it, bro. 911, buddy.
Hey, man.
Another officer arriving on scene following the shooting also attempted to take the suspect, Adams, into custody when the shocking thing happened. Adams reached for the secondary officer's firearm as well. After struggle, and with the assistance of off-duty deputies from the Gadsden County Sheriff's Office and Leon County Sheriff's Office who stopped to help, the suspect was taken into custody without further incident. The injured officer is in stable condition and is expected to recover.
He's not me! Get off! Dude, he's gonna try to shoot me! They're trying to shoot me!
Through the body cam of Portland police, we witnessed quite an encounter as they pulled over a man and his girlfriend in the dead of night. The video shows two officers interrogating the man by the corner. once cooperative man became aggressive and tackled the cops, bringing them both to the ground and refusing to let go. At this point, the cops realize they have to do something or it might end badly for them. Still on the ground, one of the cops decisively pulls out his gun and fires repeatedly as the lady screams and runs off.
Hey, you need help? You need help?
Stop it!
Officer, you need help?
Stop it! Let's go!
Recently, an FCSO deputy responded to an emergency involving a horse that had escaped onto the highway. While searching for and attempting to capture the loose horse, the deputy accidentally stepped on a beehive hidden in the trees. This led to a swarm of bees attacking and stinging the deputy. Despite the bee attack, the deputy was able to resolve the situation without sustaining serious injuries. He eventually made it back to the road to regroup with his fellow officers.
Crawling on my back?
God, I've been ready to get you. Huh? How much gun?
In Norwood, Massachusetts, Ryan Brown was being pursued by police for possession of illegal substances. The high-speed chase, reaching speeds of 80 mph, ended when Brown crashed into another vehicle. Although he initially managed to escape capture, the pursuit resumed with intensified urgency.
We're continuing from Maple now.
Around 2:30 a.m., Brown's flight ended when he collided with a pole. As officers approached his vehicle to arrest him, they found him injured and unconscious, just moments away from a possible car fire. Officers are risking their lives every day they go out. Check out this officer in Arizona who almost lost her life to a crazy man who brought out a knife during an argument.
Get out of my face!
Put the knife down!
Shut your mouth!
No! Put the knife down!
Shut up!
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 The video shows how the man walks towards her tauntingly, asking her to shut up while she orders him to put the knife on the ground. In a shocking burst of agility, the man charges at the officer, intending to end her, but she fires at him instead.
Put the knife on the ground!
Shut up!
Put the knife on the ground!
Shut up!
Put the knife on the ground!
Shut up!
Put the knife on the ground! 998! 998!
An officer from the Pasadena Police Department attempted to pull over a suspect after he ran a stop sign. The suspect did not immediately stop, driving 6 blocks before coming to a stop on Spooner at the 400 block of Southmore Avenue.
Anywhere is fine.
In the video, we hear the officer shouting, "Stay in the vehicle," and "Show me your hands." The situation quickly escalates. The driver gets out of the vehicle and turns partially, so he's facing back towards the officer.
Hey, stay in the vehicle. Stay in the vehicle. Stay in the vehicle. Show me your hands. Show me your hands.
At one point, his hand reaches down, his right hand behind his back, and then he produces a weapon and brings it up, both hands in a shooting stance parallel to the ground, pointing it at the officer. The officer immediately starts firing and strikes the suspect, who ends up on the ground.
Stay in the vehicle. Show me your hands. Show me your hands. Hey!
We are presented with a shocking video that unfolds right in the middle of an intersection, where a woman loses control and begins to throw a tantrum. The situation takes an unexpected turn when the woman moves to open the back door of a parked police car. An officer chooses the easy way and attempts to calm her down, but she would not have it, increasing the tension. The officer decides to use a harder approach. He tries to use his baton stick to gain control of the situation. It almost develops into a fist fight.
Open this back door, bitch! Open this back door! Hey, what about my little boy? Huh? You wanna be asleep? Oh, okay, what's up? Bring out your credit card. What's up, bitch? What's up?
As the situation becomes more intense, the police officer seizes an opportunity to take the woman down onto the road, using the necessary force to protect herself and others. More police cars arrive on the scene to assist in the arrest.
Stop! Stop!
This 30-year-old mother of 5 is seen driving in the rain without headlights on, and she gets pulled over by deputies in Georgia. But how could the officers have known that this seemingly routine traffic stop would turn into a dangerous pursuit?
Listen, you do that. You do that. That's the worst idea you ever made. Ma'am, you about to go.
When the deputies approach her vehicle, she decides at the very last minute to flee the scene, resulting in a high-speed chase on the rainy roads.
The white Charger, left on the 27.
The whole action was captured on the police dash cam as the woman desperately accelerates, reaching speeds beyond 120 meters per hour, putting herself, her passenger, and her 5 children at risk. In an attempt to bring the pursuit to a controlled end, deputies employ a pit maneuver.
64, exactly.
The maneuver successfully stops her vehicle, bringing a temporary halt to the dangerous situation. Authorities reveal that all 5 children in her vehicle emerged unharmed from the pursuit. The Houston Police Department released body camera footage of officers shooting and killing a man on July 14, 2021 in southeast Houston after they say he appeared to reach for a firearm in his crashed car.
We're doing he cracked up at Monroe 45. Cracked up at Monroe 45.
Officers approached the vehicle and gave the suspect several verbal commands to show his hands, but the suspect refused to comply.
Let me see your hands! Let me see your hands! We got one at gunpoint. Let me see your hands! Hey! Hands!
The suspect was seen ducking into the floorboard of the vehicle and returning quickly when 2 officers discharged weapons and struck the suspect. Paramedics transported the suspect to an area hospital where he was pronounced deceased. After losing sight of a suspect, 2 officers were told that the suspect, Carver, had turned east into an alley, and the driver had abandoned the car and was hiding in vegetation on the north side of the alley.
This is a male wearing a red t-shirt. Guys, you didn't pass it. I hold right there. It's right here.
They eventually located Carver crouched in the vegetation, holding a soft-sided cooler in front of him. The suspect looked in the officer's direction, then began running. Thus began the foot chase. The officers shouted commands at Carver during the foot pursuit, stating they would tase or shoot him if he did not stop. Carver said, "No," in response to their orders, and continued running.
He's gonna cry for something. You're gonna get tased! Stop! You're gonna get shot!
While running, Carver held his cooler bag in front of him with the strap over his left shoulder and periodically looked back over his right shoulder. At one point, he slowed his pace. He then removed a stainless steel .38 caliber revolver from the cooler bag, turned to his left and faced the officers. The suspect held the revolver with a 2-handed grip, pointed it at the officers, and fired. Granillo and Guillen immediately unholstered their pistols, dropped to the ground, and simultaneously returned fire at Carver. Carver fell to the ground, then rose to a seated position while pointing his revolver at the officers. He then attempted to stand as both officers continued to fire. Carver subsequently fell face down to the ground and lost control of the revolver, which landed 3 feet from him. Patrol officers from the Maryvale precinct and a police helicopter were nearby when 911 began receiving calls about a suspect pointing a handgun at multiple people. Upon arrival, officers searched the area and located the suspect, Arenas, outside a nearby restaurant, where he was pointing a gun at a family in a car and at the police helicopter. They told Arenas to drop the gun, but he would not listen. Instead, he fled into the restaurant, which was occupied by multiple people. Once inside, he pointed the gun and assaulted 2 customers. An officer followed Arenas into the restaurant and gave another command to drop the gun, which Arenas ignored. He pointed the handgun at the officer, and the officer fired at Arenas, striking him. After checking the back area of the restaurant, officers provided medical aid to Arenas until Phoenix Fire personnel arrived and transported him to a local hospital where he was pronounced deceased. Luckily, though the place was crowded, there were no injuries to any of the victims or the officers. The handgun used by Arenas was recovered on scene. This next incident unfolded in Volusia County, Florida, involving the arrest of an 18-year-old woman. Arriving at the scene, the officer stopped the woman's vehicle, thinking it was connected to the reported burglary, but what ensued was far from expected.
Hey, stop the car. Stop! Can you stay here? What are you doing here? Turn the car off.
During the confrontation, the woman became aggressive as she attempted to flee the scene. According to the report, she assaulted the officer by kicking him and striking him in the head with a closed fist multiple times.
Step it up. Get down now. Get down now. Turn around.
After a prolonged struggle between the cops and the woman, who had no desire to be arrested, she was put in cuffs and led to a waiting police car. A dash cam captured a truck attempting to evade the police. The vehicle suddenly pulled into someone's driveway, and the driver jumped out of the car, standing in a shooting position. The incident was rather funny. While Officer Payne yelled at the man to put down his gun, you could see that he in fact had no gun. Instead of shooting, the officer let out his dog, Urek. Urek followed his training and bit the man's hand, causing the things he was holding to fall. The things turned out to be a small knife and a flashlight. This next video is as disturbing as can be. No one knows what started it, but a Walmart parking lot became an arena for a police officer to get physically involved with another man.
You always picking, Captain. Always. Yeah, he is. You're always picking. Look at him.
The video was captured by 2 women who were with the man. It shows the cop pinning the guy to a white car. The guy who wasn't having any of it fought back aggressively. At some point, he decided to run, but the cop was right behind him, pinning him again to another car and attempting to handcuff him. Even though the 2 women kept telling the officer that he was in the wrong, he couldn't care less about their opinions.
With his hand on his hand. Oh my goodness, man! I can't wait. I'm filing a report. I'm filing a report.
The fight only came to an end when another officer arrived. They cuffed the man and led him away to their car. This man found himself at the opposite end of the law because of recklessness. In the video, we see him arguing with a cop. Realizing the gravity of the situation, the cop pulls out a gun, and the man takes to his heels, running for dear life. But for some reason, he suddenly found courage and stopped, even turning to face the armed police trooper. Like one possessed, he suddenly starts running towards the cop, but the cop was still armed. He simply aimed his pistol and fired twice, sending the man to the land of no return. In Tempe, Arizona, a police officer pursued a suspect involved in a recent home theft, leading to a high-intensity chase filled with parkour-style maneuvers. The suspect, identified by neighbors and wearing the victim's clothing, prompted the officer to quickly take action. After a vigorous chase, the officer successfully apprehended the suspect just as he was about to leap over another wall. The swift response and identification by the community ensured the burglar was caught before escaping further. On September 25, 2023, a suspect matching the description of an initial 911 call was observed by officers fleeing the scene. The officers gave chase and verbal commands for the suspect to stop, but the suspect did not comply.
Gotta take him back running! Whoa, whoa, whoa!
During the foot pursuit, another involved suspect emerged from the residence and began firing at the officers. The rounds struck one of the responding officers, and they immediately returned fire. The injured officer, Caleb Babb, was transported to a local hospital with serious injuries and taken into surgery.